So, hello everyone and welcome back to another build episode. If you haven't seen any of the other episodes that I've created about building this van, including the kitchen, the bed, the walls, the ceiling, anything, the lighting, which is partly what this is about, then go check the card up here because you'll find it all up there, many episodes. But on this episode we are doing lights in the cupboards. Now I have already done it. If I give you a demonstration, if you just look up there quickly. So if I show you here, there you go, you can see there's light coming from the cupboard. But I have, so those two overhead cabinets have it. There's a cabinet, there's two cabinets above the cab, obviously because the Citroen relays have a shelf already in there, and I've utilised them and put lights in there because it's quite a big deep cupboard that you can't really see, and it's not very high either, unlike the Ivecos which I worked on my mum's, and it's a much larger shelf, so you don't need lighting as much, but it's still a good idea. But cupboards like the water pot, I haven't need to put it in, and obviously these are drawers, so I don't need that either. But this one is also quite a deep one, quite a big one that's quite dark. So I've put light LED strips in here. I've just stuck an LED strip to the back of this batten. Really simple self-adhesive stuff, and yeah, I'll put a link down to all the products I've used, including the LED strips. They're just 12 volt LED strips. I'd get the non-waterproof ones because waterproof ones decrease the efficiency because they're insulated, but LEDs need to cool down, so it's best to not do it. And if it's in a cupboard, it's not likely to be soaked in water. And then you're going to want a soldering iron, which is what I've got here. So what I'm going to be using, and I've used them in the other cupboards, is this mortise switch, and it's basically a push to brake switch. So that means when you push it, the light circuit detaches and therefore there's no light, and then when it comes back out there's light. So really easy to fit. It just goes in the positive line and you unscrew them, stick the cable in the back, easy as that. So down here, when I was wiring and doing all stuff, I've left some crimping connectors here, some Y off connectors, and basically all I need is a crimping connector because that's how I've done most of my wiring, and I just crimp a cable onto there, and that's my power because this goes to the battery, and then it wants to go through the switch which will break it when you shut the cupboard, so that will screw to the side of the batten, and then as you shut it, it should turn the light off, and then obviously it carries on and goes and solders onto the light. You do kind of need solder, but I think you can get these like clips that have like little spikes, and you clip them around the LED strip and they spike into the copper pads, and therefore creating the connection. So I'll have a look, see if I can find some of them and drop them down below, so which means you don't have to solder, but it is quite a useful technique, so it's worth learning how to solder. But if not, I'll drop those clips down below. I'll see if I can find some. I know they exist. And I'll do a quick montage of me doing all the wiring. And that's going to go in there, inside the little screw terminal, and then I'm simply going to do it up. And then for the other side of the switch, because obviously that's half of it and then it's got to come back out again, just use the same length of cable and then insert that into there and get your screwdriver and do it back up, and that should be that done. So now you've got a positive and a negative switched. So then you want to work out where that's going to go, and I'm going to screw that in right now. So these are the screws that I'm using. They're countersinking ones, yes, so don't do them too tight, because I've worked out if you do it too tight it kind of grabs the mechanism inside and stops it working. But that's all working, and then what you want to do is you want to strip it and solder it onto the LED strip which is behind there, and I'll give you a look. So it's a very small cupboard as you can see, but you can get the gist of what I'm talking about. So here's the switch and here's the LED strips up here. And then they just want to be soldered onto there, onto the correct polarities. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually using the camera as a mirror because I can't exactly see what I'm doing. That is using the camera as a mirror. It's by no means easy. I think it might have worked. So there we go everyone. If I push this, turn off, turn on. I had a slight problem issue with the crimp connector. I crimped one a bit too hard that it actually broke the cable inside, so then I had to re-crimp it. So there we are. That is as simple as that, and then you open it, obviously it pulls out the switch and turns the light on, and then you shut it and the light turns off. Really, really basic. So if you want lights in your cupboards, it's as easy as that. Like I said, I think you can buy those clips so you don't have to solder. But yeah, so if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment down below and put your thoughts or questions, and I'll be sure to get back to you. And if you're not subscribed, please do, and hit that bell icon while you're down there, and I'll see you next Saturday.